Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. Another one of these short video clips. This is my third of the day. I got a lot of things to say. My last video recording, I talked about planning, the importance of planning in my day. These video recordings, I have a whole folder here with like hundreds of ideas, and I'll look at it and I'll just talk. But during the day, ideas just pop into my head. I go, oh, I want to talk about it, and I just take my iPad, hit record. So two things. Well, I'm going to make them two separate videos. I was going to talk about death, one of my favorite topics. Talk about death all the time. Death, should you be afraid? Is there an afterlife? By the way, study done recently I read, who has the least fear of death? I thought before, like I was thinking about it, I go, well, like religious people who are totally 100% convinced that there's like Jesus and heaven and all that, they probably might even be looking forward to death. Wrong. In fact, they have more anxiety than the average person. You see what I mean? Even these zealots, religious zealots and all that, they're not 100% convinced. Nobody is. Nobody knows. Right? Don't let those fuckers bullshit you, these religious zealots. Oh, I'm going to Jesus. By the way, there's way more anxiety if you believe that there's like two possibilities, like heaven or hell. I'm like, you don't know. Like, if you really believe in Satan and all that, you might go to the bad place. And like, talk about hell, like burning. That's another video recording about hell. I'm going to be doing the book of Revelation too, by the way. So anyway, the study shows the people with the least anxiety are atheists. And you would like, really? It's like, no. Well, of course, atheists. Atheists have the least anxiety. And it really is the whole Epicurean take on it, right? Epicurus. I don't know the quote, I'm just paraphrasing, but when I am, death is not. When death is, I am not. Exactly. I mean, if you really believe in that this is it, and there's nothing after this, why? There really is zero anxiety. I mean, it's just non-existence. There's nobody to experience anything. Death, if you're an Epicurean and you're an atheist, I mean, death is not good, but it's not bad at all. It's like tantamount, death is tantamount to something inanimate, like a stone. Like, so if you really think this through, there's really zero anxiety. The thing that sucks is the dying process, the body breaks and hanging in there. When you're fucking old, you can't move, you can't even take a shit, and you're just fucking just sick and tired and everything is a hassle. That sucks. When your body starts breaking, you can't see, you can't hear, you can't hear, you're in pain and drooling, and, it's just a fucking mess. You got someone wiping your ass, and it's just, please, enough of this stuff. And then, I know it's really hard to think about, especially if you have family and loved ones, and I'm talking about if you're an atheist. If you're a Christian or whatever, and you think there's heaven and hell, like there's fucking major anxiety, right? Like, am I gonna go to fucking Satan? I don't know. I think I'm a good person. I don't know. They're the most anxious, So even if the person is entirely convinced, there's anxiety, obviously. Duh, right? I mean, even people, think about your life. You're going on a vacation, something fun and exciting. There's some anxiety there. So even if you are, and I don't believe these people, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, even if you're a Christian, you're totally 100% convinced that you're going to Jesus in heaven, there's still going to be that anxiety. Like, what the fuck is this, right? All right. So I don't want to talk about, devote the whole podcast, this video recording to death. I'll be doing a lot more, I guarantee you that, on death. My favorite topic. But, okay. Second part. Everyone knows I'm a Joe Rogan fanatic. I've listened to every single podcast, Joe Rogan, since the beginning, December 24th, 2009. Every single podcast. Every minute of every single podcast. There is some asterisk. There have been a couple I haven't finished completely. Some of the MMA episodes I actually have not, but all the main ones I have. Okay, so there's another maniac like me, and I just subscribe to his channel. I don't want to be taking his stuff, by the way. It's Trouble TV. He's got how many subscribers does he get? Oh, he only has 7.1 thousand. I thought it was more. But this one got up 1.1 million views. That's weird. 7.1 thousand subscribers, but one of his videos he got 1.1 million. Boy, I fucking hope that happens with my channel. With this, maybe this post. Okay, so I've subscribed to. It's called Trouble TV. And here it is. He's another maniac that watches podcasts or listens to podcasts slowly and is a Joe Rogan fanatic. And look at the hashtags. Hashtag Joe Rogan, hashtag annoyed, hashtag Neil. Interesting. He's figuring shit out like me. So it says Joe Rogan getting annoyed by Neil deGrasse Tyson's rude interruptions. I watched a little bit, but I'm going to give it a like. All right, and here we go. Crazy maniac Joe Rogan fanatic, just like Michael Tabor. Here we go. Trouble TV. Joe's the best, right? Here we go.
Understanding who and what we are in this universe. We place great value on that. So, but it's not our land. It's
So specifically, these things have to take place.
Europeans didn't come to Hawaii and find legions of scientists there conducting experiments. Okay, they found native peoples governing themselves. So that's that. The consequence. All right. So there are ways around problems if you value the thing that it is that you want to do. So if people leaving crap up there, you make them bring it back. Or you develop a system that enables the stuff to come back no matter what. And if you can't do that and you don't want it messed up, then cancel the whole operation. We didn't cancel cars. We got really innovative about how to keep them.
I think there's a big difference between cars and human shit that's left in the side of the mountain. I think the real problem, too, is I think it's
if you value mountain climbing
I like it, Joe.
and you want to keep doing it, then you solve the problem.
I'm going to play this some more. I love that fucking show. Like, I can't wait. Like, when Joe's has a new show, like I said, Sean Carroll is his latest guest. By the way, I'm a huge Neil deGrasse Tyson fan. I've talked about him at length in my other earlier video recordings. I think he's so fun and smart and interesting and taking complex ideas and, And by the way, Neil has been on Joe's show 3-4 other times, and it's always fun. They love each other to death, man. They fucking love each other. Like, Neil gets a kick out of Joe. It's kind of like, it's almost, even though Neil's about 6 years older than Joe, it almost sometimes seems sort of not father-son, but Neil is definitely the elder, sort of, and he gets a kick out of Joe. Like, Joe will say all that shit in the cosmos, but there's so much respect. Neil respects Joe. Joe fucking respects Neil, and they totally love each other. But it is true. Neil keeps interrupting Joe. And let me continue. This is fucking awesome. Hey, good job, Trouble TV. I just subscribed to your channel. Here we go.
Block batteries as quickly as in less time than it takes to fill a tank.
Yeah.
How much time do you stand there with your hand on the nozzle waiting for the gas to go in?
Right, so they would have to have a mountain of batteries sitting there waiting for people to just come in and take.
Is that any worse than a mountain than a sunken reservoir tank of gas? There's no different. Why is that any different?
Probably be larger volume, right?
Possibly, but so what? If it's economic, you just do it.
Right.
And if the battery's all at the bottom of the car, and it's kind of like NASCAR, you run in, pop it up, take out the battery, put the next one, you're off.
Do you think that's the future?
Why not? It's better than charging the battery than a sunken reservoir tank of gas. There's no different. Why is that any different?
Probably be larger volume, right?
Possibly, but so what? If it's economic, you just do it.
Right.
And if the battery's all at the bottom of the car, and it's kind of like NASCAR, you run in, pop it up, take out the battery, put the next one. Look up laboratory stealth light. Something. Try that.
I found those cloaks that people wear. That sort of seems like video chicks.
Yeah. That seems like fuckery. Yeah, there's a lot of.
But in Harry Potter, the what's that cloak that they.
Okay.
So off of you turning the
Let me
Mother
turn this
Teresa, wouldn't it?
Pauses. By the way, if you have not seen that podcast, what's the number? 1,300 and that doesn't matter the number. Just go the latest podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson, because as I said, Neil has been on before, and I learned so much. It's one of I can't even begin to tell you how much fun I had watching that podcast. So this is a guy ribbing him. Yeah, Neil was interrupting and Joe's face and all that. You know, Neil has so much information. It's kind of like me. And you see, Joe works on this. He talks about being a better listener, but it's frustrating, right? It is true. Neil wants to say, and then it's like, fuck. It's hard, man. I mean, with me too in real life. By the way, I'm going to soon be getting guests, so it's not just me soloing monologue. I'll be having guests coming on very shortly. Hopefully, some good guests. Just like Joe. Joe started out by himself. It was just Joe, actually, and Brian Redband, his engineer, and then now it's the #1 podcast in the world, Joe Rogan. So hopefully this will happen with me. Hopefully, right? If it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever. I'm semi-retired, having a blast here. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Check out Joe Rogan, Neil deGrasse Tyson. You'll learn a lot, I'm telling you, and have fun doing so. Okay. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.